On November the 11th, it's Remembrance Sunday, when we remember all those who have given their lives serving their country and reflect on the sacrifices made by our brave service men and women. Now, I was lucky enough to spend some months with the soldiers fighting in Afghanistan. Now, please welcome two of them who have become friends over the last months. Company Sergeant Tim Newton and Corporal Pete Toynton from the 1st Battalion, the Royal Anglian Regiment. Actually, the guys are in their deserts. They don't often walk around like that in civil life, but that's what you wear while you're out there to protect you from getting shot, and also it reflects a lot of the heat, doesn't it, Tim? Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you remind me, Tim, why Poppy Day is so important?
We need to remember the servicemen and women that have sacrificed themselves since the First and Second World Wars, and bringing it through up to date, through
there's been Korea, the Falklands, Northern Ireland.
Yeah, Northern Ireland, and more recently, Afghanistan and Iraq.
And Iraq, yeah, definitely. And the Poppy Appeal raises money for those servicemen and their families after they leave the service. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. It's a fantastic appeal that looks after servicemen through the Royal British Legion, once they've left the services and their families.
Do you know how many soldiers at the moment, or service men and women, because remember I've been out to Afghanistan and there are women, they're not actually on the front line, but they're doing tremendous jobs in certain points in the theatre of war out there. Do you know how many people are out there at the moment?
Well, there's about 8,000 in Afghanistan at the moment and around about 5,000 in Iraq.
Yeah, which is a lot of people, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've just come back. Happy to be home?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really happy, yeah? Pete, when you were out there, I know that you came very close to being hurt. In fact, you were hurt, and some of your friends were seriously hurt. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, I was in Kajaki in Northern Helmand Province.
Well, I was up there with you.
With you, and I was on a high feature.
That's a military term for a hill. High feature is a hill. Go on, then.
And I came under heavy contact from 3 different locations.
Because you're in the fire support group. Basically, they offer heavier weapons to support the riflemen on the ground.
Yeah, and so obviously I returned rounds, and we had RPGs coming from the east, small arms coming from the north.
An RPG, I'll explain, is a rocket-propelled grenade. It's a grenade that's propelled by a rocket. Go on,
and small arms coming from the west as well. And while my concentration was on the west, an RPG came from the north and landed about 1 metre away from my vehicle.
Which is too close, isn't it?
Yeah, and
you got
I'm partially deaf now in my left ear.
Yeah.
You'd have to speak up, we can't hear anything.
Like my nan, if you're listening, turn the volume up, dear. Also, Tim, some people very close to you, I know, were seriously hurt. Some of the guys in the company were actually killed. This is the B company.
Yeah, that's right. In my company, I lost 4 personal soldiers to myself. Within our battalion, we lost 9 soldiers. And that's not just there are other regiments out there at the same time as us. Grenadier Guards and the Mercian Regiment.
Mercian Regiment.
Who also lost sort of equivalent numbers of soldiers.
Well, I can assure you, it's a war zone out there, isn't it? I mean, can you just try and explain to them the living conditions, how you get up, what you do, how close the enemy are to you when they get into contact with you?
Well, the enemy, you could be as close as 5 or 10 metres. We were ambushed on our route into Sangin by a large number of Taliban, and they were, ranged from 10 metres on the side of the road to 100 metres away, firing different weapons.
And that's very close when you've got the range of the weapons are sometimes 400 metres, aren't they?
Yeah,
so that's incredibly close. That's close enough to virtually smell them, isn't it? Or see the whites of their eyes, at least. Yeah. Pete, can you tell me about the living conditions, mate? I mean, I was up with you up in north of Sangin, up in Nowzad, weren't we? I mean, and it was a little bit like Blackadder, goes forth, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was like World War I trenches, and the pit I was living in was infested with snakes as well. Yeah. So I had to live in a mosquito net, obviously, to stop.
But there were rats there. There was that. I mean, it's
rats.
Dug in into the side of a hill. It's called AMP Hill, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and the conditions were, well, they were horrible. It smelt. The toilets. It was horrible.
Well, I know the toilets are not a thing we should go on to on this show, but there's. if you're looking for seats and a flush, don't go to Afghanistan.
Even out when we was out on patrol, and we'd be fighting for a village or something, and we'd run out of water, and because of the situation, we couldn't get a resupply, so we'd have to drink the well water, which hadn't been purified, and it could have dead animals in it, anything.
While I was with you guys, we were allowed some amazing access, and we've got a clip. The show doesn't go out on Sky One until after Christmas, but I think we can show you a quick clip of the reality, the situations that exist out there and how serious it is. We have to wait for 3 hours in 50-degree heat, not knowing what's going on. Rumours are rife that there are casualties, and A Company, who were travelling behind us, have now caught us up. The Regimental Sergeant Major Ian Robinson, responsible for battlefield casualties, comes to tell me what's happened. It's not good news.
I don't know how much you know already.
No, we don't know very much.
We had a vehicle that was involved in a mine strike a couple of hours ago now, and unfortunately one of the boys was killed.
Well, a big thanks to you, Tim Newton, and to Corporal Toynton from the 1st Battalion, the Royal Anglian Regiment. And you can find out details about the British Legion Poppy Appeal on the Paul O'Grady website, and there's a fund for the Royal Anglian Regiment, which you can also find on the website. Up next, Christopher Biggins, the Panto Masterclass, and some very talented kids, so don't go anywhere.